In Wendy Brown's Walled States, Waning Sovereignty, she explores the phenomenon of border walls and their connection to the weakening of state sovereignty in the post-Westphalian political-economic landscape. Brown argues that the construction of walls is a response to the detachment of sovereignty from the nation-state, driven by the rise of neoliberalism and the increasing dominance of capital. She highlights the unaccountable power of capital and its ability to transcend traditional boundaries, turning populations into vulnerable subjects. However, it is important to critically examine Brown's claims and consider counterexamples that challenge her narrative. For instance, the existence and justifications of the wall between Israel and Palestine are deeply rooted in a political history that predates the influence of neoliberalism or transnationalism. Other instances, such as the boycott of Iraqi oil in the 1990s or the invasion of Iraq, demonstrate that political economic struggles and motivations based on factors like nationalism and the rule of law can override neoliberal principles. Moreover, the inability to pass comprehensive immigration reform, despite efforts by the Bush and Obama administrations, suggests that the relationship between neoliberalism and waning sovereignty is more complex than a zero-sum game. The involvement of nativists and the support for the DREAM Act challenge the notion that nativism is solely a response to waning sovereignty. In light of these considerations, it is important to question the assumption that state sovereignty is simply waning, and to recognize the persistence of political communities negotiating identity and territory throughout history. While Brown's argument may offer a counterintuitive perspective, it is necessary to critically engage with the complex dynamics of power in neoliberalism, challenging simplistic narratives of triumph or decline. Brown explores the proliferation of nation-state walls within the context of eroding nation-state sovereignty and the rise of transnational powers facilitated by globalization. As a prominent scholar of neoliberalism, Brown argues that these walls do not primarily serve as fortresses against invading armies, or as symbols of sovereign statehood. Instead, in a post-Westphalian world where non-state transnational actors and powers hold increasing influence, these new walls both symbolize and perpetuate the very boundary corruption they aim to address. They also signify the limitations of both national and global governance through legal and political means. While these walls may theatrically display nation-state sovereignty, they simultaneously underscore the decline of sovereign state power